Hello everyone and welcome to Noodle Journey, your destination for detailed and informative reviews of the instant noodle universe. And oh my god, it is episode 200. And since Nongshim Shin Ramyun is what started this channel, I am ending my Shin countdown from the last few episodes with something really special. I'm going to review both of these recent Nongshim Shin Ramyun Tom Yum flavors that have been made in collaboration with legendary Thai street chef Jay Fai. Before we get started, please remember to like, share, and subscribe if you enjoy this review or if you've enjoyed any of my other 200 plus episodes. And please check out the official Noodle Journey website linked in the description below. It has a complete searchable index of all my reviews, plus new reviews that you won't see on this channel, news articles, and lots more. And I want to say before we get started, not only is this the 200th episode, the channel also just hit 2,500 subscribers last week and is on track to 250,000 views probably within the next couple weeks. So thank you all so much for sticking with me this long. I know that this is a very niche thing, especially, this whole static, I don't show my face, no flashy editing thing. Thanks for watching. This is awesome. I never thought I'd grow an audience of 25 people, let alone 2,500 people, so I appreciate every single one of you. Now, on to the review. These products need a little bit of a backstory. Nongshim announced back in November of 2023 that they were exploring a new collaboration for the Thailand market with this lady right here, Jay Fai. And she is a world-renowned street food chef in Bangkok, and in fact some have called her the most famous street food chef in the world. She's made a name for herself with her recipes like drunken noodles, crab omelet, and both tom yum soup, and dry tom yum, which is something she actually invented. And for all of her efforts, her restaurant earned a Michelin-star in 2018, the only such street food restaurant at that time. So Nongshim came out with these two products as a fusion of Jay Fai's famous tom yum soup and dry tom yum with Nongshim's Shin Ramyun. And if you have Netflix or, access to Netflix content through other means that I wouldn't dare condone, matey, you can watch a short documentary about Jay Fai on the Netflix series Street Food that came out in 2019. It is a really interesting watch if you have the time. And I won't rehash too much that's in that episode. I just want to say tom yum soup, if you're not familiar with it, is a fantastic, spicy, aromatic, sour, herby soup. Probably one of the most famous dishes from Thailand. Something I order all the time from Thai restaurants. And I've reviewed other tom yum noodles here on this channel. You can just search for them here on YouTube or on the Noodle Journey website if you want to check them out. But I've never had them in the stir-fry form, so this is going to be really interesting. If you want to buy these for yourself outside of Thailand, make an online friend in Thailand who can ship them to you, or check out eBay. They're pretty readily available. There's no beef, chicken, or pork in these, so they're actually pretty easy to ship to the US and other places. These may also pop up on specialty sites that import noodles from Thailand or South Korea. I've been told that they're popping up in certain Asian supermarkets around the globe. Just use Google, go to your local store, see what you can find if you want to buy these. And I'm going to start this review here with the soup version, which is of course the more traditional way to enjoy tom yum rather than a stir fry. And I gotta say, it's really interesting that this is a completely different product from the stir fry rather than it being a single product with two cooking methods like we saw in the last video with Shin Tumba. And before I open it up, the sodium in here is 1,760 milligrams. That's high, but it's not like insane instant noodle high. So bear that in mind if you want to buy these. Okay, and inside the pack we've got a block of Nongshim's Shin noodles, a seasoning powder, a tom yum paste, and dried flakes. Now the powder looks to be the vegan version of Nongshim's normal Shin seasoning. You can see it doesn't have any special markings on here that say it comes from the Jay Fai product specifically. So this is just basically soy, chili pepper, mushroom powder, sugar, and various spices. And the vegetable mix also looks to be the same as what's normally sold with Shin Ramyun. It is bok choy, textured soy protein, which is fake meat flakes, mushroom, carrot, red chili, and onion. The tom yum paste is where things get interesting. You've got chili, lemon, lime, anchovy, lemongrass, ginger, and garlic in this. Now to cook all this, we're going to boil the noodles, flakes, and powder in 500 milliliters of water for 4 to 5 minutes, which is the standard Shin Ramyun cooking method, and then you're going to stir in the Tom Yum paste at the very end. So I'll go cook and be right back to add the paste. All right, here we go, fresh off the stovetop. And before I add the Tom Yum paste, I just want to confirm, like I am 99% certain that this is just regular Shin Ramyun at this stage before I add the paste in. The vegan version, that is. I didn't see any meat in the ingredients aside from the anchovy in the Tom Yum paste. So let me just give this a quick taste here and verify that, and then we'll get on with this. Yep, that's absolutely what that is. If you go back a few episodes and watch my review of Shin Vegan, what's this? Very good stuff, but we're about to do something a little bit different with it by putting this paste in. So let's see how that goes. You know, there's not a lot in here. Like, I don't know if you can really tell, but this is a pretty small pack. So I'm wondering how transformative this is really going to be. Oh, that is punchy. Okay. Yeah. All right. Very strong ginger and lemon flavor coming off of that. I'm not really getting any anchovy flavor or aroma, but when it's used like this in a paste, it's usually just kind of an indistinct umami flavor. You don't really notice too much fishy about it, unless you're really, really super sensitive to anchovy flavor. All right, let me give this paste a good stir. Get it all mixed up in the broth. So that was a very concentrated flavor, so I'm hoping that this does really take this Shin Ramyun broth to another level. All right, lots of citrus notes coming off of this now. Does it smell like Tom Yum? Yeah, a little bit. It's definitely got the citrus and ginger aspect nailed down, although a lot of Tom Yum usually has galangal, which isn't quite ginger. Anyway, I'm getting ahead of myself. We'll talk about that when I talk about the flavor. Let's give this a try. All right. Noodles first. Pretty standard Shin Ramyun noodles. Nice and plump, chewy, great soup noodles. The ones I fell in love with before I started this channel. 8 out of 10 noodle score. The spice level is pretty much on par with regular Shin Ramyun, which is a 6 out of 10 for me. Yes, there is additional chili pepper in the paste, and it has a little extra zest and acid from all the citrus and the ginger, but I don't think it's any more spicy than regular Shin Ramyun is. So I'm going to keep that 6 out of 10 spiciness score for this one as well. And now, so the overall flavor. Let me get ahead of something right here. Inevitably, on Reddit, when somebody talks about an instant Tom Yum product, they always ask, how does it compare to Mama? And the answer is always that Mama shrimp Tom Yum and creamy Tom Yum, and even pork Tom Yum, is the more authentically flavored Tom Yum in the instant noodle world. Nongshim is not trying to duplicate a Tom Yum soup here. They are very clear in their marketing, in the packaging, that this is Shin Ramyun with Tom Yum flavor in it. So if you're looking for authentic, this is not it. But if you love Shin Ramyun already, and you love the sour citrus vibe that goes with Tom Yum soup in general, then you are going to appreciate what Nongshim has done here. Because really that's what this is. It's a Shin soup base with an additional paste packet that turns this super sour, a little extra gingery, and I think that additional flavor is excellent. For someone like me who's been eating Shin Ramyun pretty regularly, going on 4 years or so, it's really nice to have a product that has the comforting flavor of Shin, but changes the formula in just such a way to make it vibrant and new again. Yeah, that sounded a little pretentious, but really that's what this is. Is anybody going to give these noodles a Michelin star? No. But if you accept this for what this is, which is the chili umami deliciousness of Shin Ramyun coupled with a citrus forward paste, then I think there's a lot to like from a flavor perspective with this, even if it doesn't necessarily scream Tom Yum when you taste it. I think for what this is, the flavor is dynamite. I'm really glad that my friend sent me a couple extra packs of this, because I will definitely devour those in the future. It's not really a whole lot of downsides other than, you know, the general lack of a whole lot of flakes in here, which is typical of Nongshim. And the ginger flavor in here might be a bit too strong. Like I said before, I think Tom Yum usually uses galangal, not quite the same thing. Am I saying that word right? Galangal? Galangal? I don't know. I do like this. I don't think there's a whole lot to complain about here. I'm giving it an 8.5 out of 10 as an overall score. I think the extra paste packet is delicious and downright transformative. So I'm going to finish this and I'll be back in a few seconds with the stir fry variety. Okay, so that was quite a treat. I honestly did not expect to like that as much as I did, especially considering how sometimes fusion dishes just, don't work out. But now it's time for the Tom Yum stir fry flavor, and hopefully this one works just as well. I think this is the more interesting of these two products because, like I mentioned in the intro, Jay Fai is credited as the creator of dry Tom Yum. Now, of course, when she serves it at her restaurant, it's a big pile of seafood and herbs and like a Tom Yum sauce rather than a bowl full of noodles. But this will do in a pinch since I won't be going to Bangkok anytime soon. And just a quick sodium check, really reasonable this time, especially compared to the last one, 1,260 milligrams for the whole pack. Now inside, even though it's still noodles, powder, paste, and flakes, there are some big differences here. These noodles are thinner. They only cook for 3 minutes instead of 5. And you'll notice that the powder and the flakes are the global export version, I think, of Shin Ramyun stir fry. So these are already the same packets that come in those products. In the powder, we've got a combination of things like salt, sugar, soy, yeast, black pepper, chili pepper, and mustard. This is meat-free. The paste looks to be largely the same as the soup paste in that it has lemon, lime, ginger, garlic, anchovy, and lemongrass in it. But the first two ingredients this time are palm oil and rapeseed oil, meaning that this is going to have a much more oily finish. And the flake packet, like I said, is what comes in the international export version of Shin Ramyun stir fry. So that's bok choy, textured vegetable protein, mushroom, and those awesome little fish cake pieces that look like the Shin logo. Okay, so the noodles and flakes cook for 3 minutes. You drain everything except for 4 tablespoons, and then you mix in the powder and the paste. So I will go cook these and be right back. Okay, time to add the powder and the paste. Yep, that is Shin Ramyun stir fry seasoning. I would bet my bottom dollar. And now the paste. Now this is a lot more generous than the one that comes with the soup, probably because you need a little more liquid in here to get this powder dissolved. But it does smell the same as the last one, which is a good thing. All right, let's get this mixed up. Okay, and here it is all mixed up. And what an aroma it was when that Tom Yum paste collided with the hot water at the bottom of this bowl. All that super punchy, strong, citrusy Tom Yum smell just filled the air. It was really great. So once it's all mixed together, I think I did a pretty good job, but you can see down here there's still a little bit of liquid in here. So this isn't like a completely dry noodle, but it's close. If I learned my lesson from the last time I had Shin stir fry a couple episodes ago, it is spicier down at the bottom there where all that sauce is concentrated. So if I get the spice score wrong, I will update it in the editing process. All right, time for a taste. All right, noodle score first. I've spent the last couple of videos talking about how much I love Nongshim's thinner stir-fry noodles. Once again here, they're great. Nice texture, really chewy. 9 out of 10 for the noodles. As far as the spice goes, assuming it stays consistent throughout, I would say this is on par with the soup version and with Shin Ramyun in general. So pretty high level medium heat. It's lingering on my lips and on the tip of my tongue. Not super hot if you're used to eating something like buldak, but this will get your attention. So 6 out of 10 for the spiciness score. And so the overall flavor, it is kind of strange tasting Tom Yum in this form, but not really strange in a bad way. It's just one of those things that your taste buds have to kind of get used to if you've only ever eaten Tom Yum as a soup. Does that make sense? Like when you deconstruct something that you've had a bunch of times, you're like, that's not how that's supposed to go. But no, all the flavor notes are here. It's got that expected Shin stir-fry flavor of chili pepper, black pepper, sugar, gochujang. And then right away, it also hits you with all that citrusy Tom Yum goodness. And just like in the soup form, it's a really nice combo. I think it's great, but there's one thing I'm gonna warn you to watch out for. This is sweeter than normal Tom Yum is because of the sugar content that is in Shin Ramyun stir fry. At least to me. I'm perceiving this as sweeter than an average Tom Yum soup. So if you don't like your food on the sweeter side, which is something that tends to happen with some Korean dishes, then this version might not be the one you want to seek out if you were looking to try these. I would maybe stick with the soup version. Other than that, no big complaints. The variety and quality of the flakes is great. Once again, I love these. I love these fish cake pieces. The Shin logo on there is just so cool. I don't mind the additional sweetness. I think this is on par with the soup version. They both bring different experiences to the same basic flavor. So I'm also going to give this one an 8.5 out of 10 as an overall score. So there you have it, folks. Episode 200 is a wrap, and we kind of sort of managed to get a Michelin-star chef involved in the review process. No, for real. You're not going to mistake either one of these for Michelin-star rated food. If you want the true Jay Fai experience, I imagine you need to go to Thailand and experience it for yourself. However, if you like the idea of Tom Yum and Shin Ramyun having this wonderful, spicy, umami, citrusy marriage, then both of these are worth your attention. They're meat-free, so they're pretty easy to import if you live in the US or other places with foreign meat restrictions. I don't really have a preference between these two. I think they both kind of scratch the same itch in a different way. They're both incredibly flavorful. So that's it for this review. That's it for 200 episodes. Thank you so much for watching. I'll be back with another episode really soon. I'm also going to be posting a lot of new reviews to the website, so please check that out. and follow me on Blue Sky if you want the latest updates as to when those new posts and videos drop. Thanks again for all the support, and I will see you here next time on Noodle Journey.